You know, bonnets and books and boots, the boa, the bolt, the buckle, the bullet swing, the button. Come on, how many how many characters that come up and said, you know what, I want to put magic on a button. I can't tell you if it's happened or not in my head. I'm pretty sure at one time, I think at least one person did. You know, here we talk about it. The button, gives us some pictures of the buttons, which everybody knows what a button is. Gives you a good description, makes what they're made out of, commonly made out of bone, wood, coral, shell, metal, blah, blah, blah. Magical buttons cannot be discerned from a standard button without the use of a detect magic spell. Nice little nifty thing to know. And then they list three things called the button of blasting, the button of confusion, and the button of fastening. They give you the experience cost or the experience point value and the gold piece cost, and they also tell you the book and page that the particular item was located in originally. Doesn't give you any stats, so I'm guessing if you want to know those, you have to go get the particular module or source book where it came up. What I'm talking about here is a small, thin book. It's actually a pair of them called the Magic Encyclopedia, Volume 1 and 2. This here is Volume 1. Now, it's second edition, 2.0 for you, some of you folks. I'm sure the treasure guides in 4.0 have a lot of stuff, but you know what? I've never seen anything on buttons in them. And the same thing in the Dungeon Master's Guide and a lot of other versions of D&D over the years. And some of the other role-playing games that I've got, I don't see references to that either. But, this is what I talk, why I bring this stuff up sometimes. This is one of those old, out-of-date book systems that most people that don't play them anymore stick their nose up at, especially the younger people who've never had them. This is your dad's stuff, and blah blah blah. Okay, great. Well, guess what? There's a lot of good, valuable things in here. You know, uh, there are belt buckles with lockpit sets in them. There's magical belt buckles that help do things. The buttons is an example. There's just I could sit here and go on for 20 minutes of all the variant different things in here. They also have a lot of stuff for description value. If you're a GM and you're trying to set up a storyline and you're trying to describe something to somebody and you go, you found a coracle, and everybody at the table just go, what? What's that? And, I know what a coracle is, although if thrown at me out of the blue, I'm probably just stumble and go, what? Just like a lot of other people. It's a funky looking round boat, okay? Quite common in the Middle Ages. Here's a picture of it. Here's a description. A small round boat constructed from wicker frame covered with animal skins. Once again, a couple magic. One's a mundane, but it's special because it folds. The other one's got blue fire coracle. Don't ask me what that's about because it doesn't tell you any detail. It just tells you what book and what page on the book it was found in. So what this basically did they went back and they listed all kinds of items and magical and mundane stuff that were brought up in scores of modules and source books for 2.0 and the original first edition books, and then put them together in an encyclopedia. And if you just want to appreciate just how many source books and products were listed at the time of this creation, all you got to do is come and look at these pages here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. Pretty small print, double line, lots of stuff. I can honestly say I ain't got all this stuff. I don't. I do look for it occasionally when I'm at the local game stores and their bargain bin and their trade shelf because well, the more I got, the more stuff I got to flush out my shelves. It would be I like for the sake of collecting things. I like these things because I like to have them because hey, I've got a big huge chunk of this of 2.0. Why not continue? It's like right now 3.5. I have a lot of the core stuff, but there's a lot of things I didn't get because I was in a position where I couldn't get them, and financially and physically speaking. Then now I can, and I'm looking at for them on the cheap. But I don't want a PDF version. I actually want the original stuff. Some of this original stuff is actually quite expensive now because of it. Like I was saying, the Magic Encyclopedia, there's 2 volumes, 2 sections. And I guess I'm sure that you can say, well, I've got enough treasure books, I got enough this, I got enough that. And I won't argue that. You know what you got, you know what you want. And if you got enough, then you don't need more, right? But it's like the same reason why back in the day we used to get the Dragon magazine, Dungeon magazine, quite religiously. Unfortunately for me, I don't have my set of those anymore. I stopped buying them in the 80s because I switched over to a BattleTech uh, magazine myself at the time. My friend was getting them though, and until we parted ways, I was always able to access those things. There's lots and lots of stuff that never made it into the books that were in the magazines. Or some of them did make it into the books, like this one. And there's others out there, I'm sure. I don't know that they made a 3.5 version or a 4.0 or a 5.0 of this book. Probably didn't. Uh, they probably decided they didn't need to. Well, that means that me and those people who have this book still, we have access to items and descriptions of things that we don't get in other books. So we have a richer, wider library of stuff to pull on. Just a thought, right? Just something to keep in mind. So if you find these things, don't stick your nose up at them. Take a look at them. If you got them, use them, and you probably do. Um, just keep an open mind about stuff. You especially newer guys and gals. Lots of good stuff from the old shelf. You guys have a good day.